my gosh. Greetings to the masses. Greetings. Yes, I am live. We are live. Well, actually, Shelley's in sunny Luton and I am in Barbados. Many people wondered, are you really? Is it that cold in Barbados? A little chilly right now, a little chilly. It's warmer over here. No, I'm in Luton. Come on now, you'd know if I was in Barbados. You would know. So welcome to the Real Talk.
End of it.
In it? It's Simply Deez show on Tuesday, the 4th of March, 2025. Woohoo!
Are we really March?
I was just going to say that to you. Okay, so if you're not sure how quickly this year is going to go, I don't know what indicator you need. It is galloping at a very fast pace. And with all the storms, because there's many of those, and I'm sure we'll talk about some of those a little bit later on, but with all the storms, we're still here, and we're still striving. And before we get into anything, Shell, people need to understand this show is real. We don't even do a briefing, really. We kind of guess, but we don't. We just roll with the tide. Now, so many things have happened over maybe even the last month or so, with people losing their lives for different reasons. Can you do, and for those of you that are watching, I'm going to give you like 10 seconds to share, which you should be doing anyway, and you shouldn't have to be told, but please share on your platforms, WhatsApp groups, everything that you can, because there is no way you are going to listen to this show and don't come out with something that you wish you knew, you should have known. Yeah, that you should have known. Can you, my love, I sound like that program. I want a minute on the clock. On whatever, not on the clock, but what I mean is I want to do a minute's silence.
Okay.
For us to remember those who have passed, or just those that are dear to you that are unwell. I'm sure everybody knows somebody. So if you let us know when, Shell, and let's do a minute's silence.
Okay, starting now.
Thanks. Okay, needed to do that. So we've not forgotten. We will never forget. But we have got some guests waiting in the wings, as they say. So very first guests for this evening are the troublesome two. Yes, we are talking about Hanifa. We are talking about Diane. Yeah, bring them on Civil Play. Look at that, double trouble. Look at that. I don't know why you're shaking your head, Diane. You're thinking like, Diane's shaking her head like, no, it's not, that it's not true. It's just the fact that I've said it. That's what she's concerned.
Yeah, just calling us out like that.
Hey, do you see in the top corner on one of your screens, it should show real talk. Real talk. Oh, ladies, thank you so very much for taking the time out, because I know what it's like. Busy. So let's get into it. Before we sort of like talk about the event itself, those people that are watching, because remember, we got people, this is global, we're online, this is global. So we get people messaging, I'm watching from Malawi, I'm not messing. Okay, we're global. So people may not know who you are. She's got two women on the screen. It says their name. They don't know nothing about you. So if you don't mind, just take a minute, if that's okay. Hanifa, would you like to go first? And just, I know it's very hard, but just kind of in a minute, let us know who you are, please.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Yep, so my name's Hanifa Mohammed. I'm a local woman. I live in Bedfordshire. I am a life coach. I am an author, and I'm a performance poet. I'm also co-founder, as we can see, of Voices of Nubian Queens, which we'll be talking about a bit later on. That's me.
Nice. That was really, oh, you must have been practicing, girl. I hope you've given some tips to Diane. We'll soon see.
Well, her naughty ways do rub off on me. I don't know about
you think I don't know that? You think I don't know?
Yes, good evening, everybody across the globe and locally. I just saw Kerry pop up. Hi, Kerry. Yeah, so I'm Diane Thomas, and I'm actually born and bred Luton girl, Luton in Bedfordshire. Yeah. And yeah, been working with the amazing Hanifa. That's just been wonderful meeting her and being in union with her. But my background is drama teaching. I'm a drama teacher, and that's kind of one of my passions, and doing creative writing, but also I work in the mental health and well-being field, where I can utilize all of my kind of skills, so and get to do my passion as well. So yeah, that's me.
Fabulous. Thank you very much. So I know it's embedded in my head, so much so that when I did a live earlier on this afternoon, I didn't even need, I think people thought I was reading off a script. It's all up here, 15th of March. So if you just want to tell us what is going to be happening on the 15th of March, I don't know, you might want to sort of tag team, but who's going to tell us what's happening on the 15th of March?
Okay, I think I'll just go through the title and and where we'll be, and then if you wanted to take it from there in terms of the performers and that. Yeah. Okay. So on Saturday, the 15th of March at 7 p.m, or the doors open at 6, we'll be kicking off our second Voices of Nubian Queens event. It is, I say, the second. We had the first last year, and it was so successful. We are really backed by public demand. So yeah, 15th of March, and we have a whole host of wonderful artists who'll be coming on to perform to what we fully believe will be a full house on Saturday. And so yeah, Diane, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, I do. Yeah, so I'll kind of expand a bit more, so that what you can expect on the evening is poetry, storytelling, comedy, all performed, and music, all performed by amazing Black women. And I do, I'll mention a couple of some of the things that they're going to be doing as well. But I do also want to big up the fact that we've got, we're having a mini market, and it's all local Black businesses that will be selling things in the mini market. So that actually starts at 6 o'clock. So do come down early to kind of utilize that. And there's some amazing things that's going to be for sale there, and to support, local Black businesses from Luton. I think that'd be, amazing if you can support that. And obviously you'll be able to get check out some stuff in the interval as well. But yeah, so as we said, the show time is actually at 7 o'clock at Luton Library Theatre. And I'll just give you a flavour of some of the acts. So we will have a comedian, a celebrity chef, some singers, couple of singers, some poets, steel pan artist, Jamaican folk singer, female DJ, someone that does, film and poetry. So it's a real mixed bag of, this time, I think even more so, of what you're going to see and encounter. And we've got it all confirmed now, and we've got the back of the flyer shows all of the artists that we're getting. So that's coming out now. You'll see that going round in the social media. So I'm really excited, just really, really excited.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going first.
Not quite yet.
Yeah.
Not quite yet. As Kerry just posted, the first one was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, thanks, Kerry. Thanks very much.
It absolutely was. I wasn't, we weren't hesitating. Like people do, and it's like, I'm going. They know they're going. Oh, no, they know they want to go and say they're going, and then leave it. And then what happens is people start pinging off your phone. It's showing as sold out. Yeah, that's right.
That's what happened last year, Dee.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
Yeah.
That's exactly what people do. It's like, it's next Saturday. That's so far away. I can see that there's tickets. And, there's always a reason. But so I'll tell you what, if there was, I don't know, it was a group or something like that, or an outfit or a pair of boots, £90, there's no hesitation. £90, bing, we've checked out. Can you just confirm how much the tickets are? Are they 50 quid, 60 quid? How much are they again?
The tickets are £15. 15. Only the mere sum of £15. And I tell you, the value that you're going to get for that.
Please, exactly.
Heck,
we were actually told off, weren't we? We were told off last year that it was totally undersold. For what people got.
So we've kind of listened to that as well, and but we still totally believe this is value for money. And
more than
we know that people are
without a doubt
just have their socks blown off if you're still wearing socks these days.
Yes,
as I do. I certainly do. Yes. Oh yes. So, it's going to be an amazing.
Can I add about the tickets? So you can get them. It's only online, so you can't just try and hitch up on me and Hanifa and say, yes, give me tickets.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's online only from Ticket Source. So it's www.ticketsource.co.uk, and then you just find Nubian Queens.
It's got all that information on the ticker.
Brilliant.
At the bottom there, just to make life, and it's in on the social media links and on this live as well. It's all posted because you've got to make it so easy, and even when it's easy, people like, I couldn't do it, I couldn't manage it.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll find a way, right? You'd find a way. So can I ask the question? I mean, how did it come about? That you could share, of course.
No, it is so simple. It is so simple. We went to another event, a similar, not the same, but a similar event. Diana and I, we weren't even together. We didn't go to the event together, did we? We didn't go to. I had been invited to share some poetry there, and Diane came there with her crew, and we left together, and we both said, "Boy, it'd be nice if we could put something on like this." And we thought, well, yeah, it would be. And we kind of left it for a while, didn't go there. And then it just emerged. Let's give it a go. Thought of the name, Voices of Nubian Queens. And it was there. It was literally nothing more technical than that. We were inspired by something else with another group of sisters that we'd seen on stage performing. And although it wasn't just sisters, and it was a mixed bag, really. Great event. We wanted ours to be purely Nubian queens. We wanted it to be women, and obviously it coincides with International Women's Month. So there, there is that link as well. But we just wanted to do that, and we wanted it. The other thing that we wanted to feature local sisters, local Black women, and women that live around it. If not local now, they certainly had a connection, and certainly still have a connection with Luton. And we wanted that to be that was another specific criteria. And so we've got there, and we've the second year round we're doing that again. That's our criteria again. And it's going to be a brilliant night. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's going to be a brilliant night, and it's going to be great to be working with Diane again. At least I think so. Sometimes I wonder.
Jeez, you two not hosting again, are you?
Yeah, we
of
are.
course.
We're hosting it. We did a show on Saturday. We hosted that. Just want to shout out to Shelley, by the way. Shelley stepped in at the last moment. Thank you, Shell. Thank you for your help on Saturday at our event, and thank you, Kerry, because I know you're on. And for everyone that was involved in that event on Saturday, that was another success. And we're looking to do that again in the future. But so just big shout out to everyone who came along. Thank you for coming and supporting, and thank you in advance to everyone we know are coming on Saturday, the 15th of March, 7 p.m. But get there beforehand, please get there beforehand, so you get your parking and you get your patty and you get your this, and go to your mini market and you get your seat. And
is there going to be food? Is food available at all?
Yeah, it's going to be patties, and there's going to be drinks, and there's going to be other gizzarda and other things. Other things on sale as well.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and we're having the mini mart for those who were there last year. We know that it was a fairly crowded space for the mini mart and for all the selling patties and so on. So we're actually in another space. We've got a larger space this time. So you'll come along and you'll just be just wowed. You'll just be wowed by it. So thank you. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you, Shelley, for that.
Excellent. You guys, honestly, bringing this sort of like here in your hometown and building on and getting that support. Because sometimes people say the need isn't there for something, the want isn't there, but you clearly proven that it is. I'm sure people have said like, I can't wait another year. Can't you do something more frequently? I can imagine. Can't you do it more frequently? Can't we? Am I right? Are people?
You are right. You are 100%. You are so right. You are so right.
As soon as that event happened, from that night, and then anytime I've seen anybody that said, when is your next event? Or when are you going to do the next event? And what else are you going to do? It's been like that for the whole year.
The whole year. And it's really surprising, places that you go to, isn't it, Di? You go to places and you just think, oh, well, it's been 7 months, 8 months since the last one. People say, were you the two? Did you? Was it you? Yeah. So, but what's beautiful about that is that people, it's memorable. It's in people's
That's right.
In people's hearts.
But how quickly has it gone?
Impact. Yeah, it's awesome. Can't actually believe a whole year has gone by. A whole year has gone by, and here we are again. Oh, awesome.
I think sometimes as well, people think that to put something on, it doesn't take long, and there's not much involved.
If that's what people think. I just think Diane and I would want to say, maybe have a rethink on that one.
The thing is, we had, me and Hanifa have been, just going over this. We were doing 2 events, for March, and I was like, it's a lot. It's a lot to do. Like 1 event, never mind 2 that we did. So, know,
as well as working.
As well
as your other commitments.
And as well as trying to have a life. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Catching some Zeds, when you can. Just trying the best. So, it's been quite a whirlwind. And to think that it's actually happening next week, next Saturday, it's like, really? Okay. Can we just roll back the clock? Can we have another 3 months, please? No,
you'll be more than ready. Super excited. Is there anything else you want to tease us with?
Thank you.
No, I'm just want to comment on the messages we've got about Saturday's event that's just gone. So that was an event that we did poetry workshops for Black women over 60, and it was just nice to give them that space and opportunity to showcase and learn something about poetry and write their own. And you know what, we were not expecting the audience that turned up. It was so lovely for those women. We had the Magnificent Seven, we called them. 7 ladies.
And, they pulled it out the bag, didn't they, Di? I mean, all of that preparation that we'd had with them in the workshops, the 5 weeks in the workshops, they all turned up. They all contributed. They all did their thing. I mean, you're talking about, these are mature women, really, and so they really didn't have to listen to Diane or I. They could have just done their own thing, but they did. We all gelled together as a kind of a family. And on Saturday, they did their thing. It was like tear jerking in many ways, just because of how beautiful they were. Yeah. It was wonderful.
And these are women that had, most of them had never written any poetry, bar one of them, so it was all very new to them. And there was that thing, oh no, I don't think I can do this, or I don't know if I'm going to do this. And, we talked about that at the event, but
and it was a combination, wasn't it, Diane, of storytelling and poetry, poetry sharing, and just the ladies sharing their experience, some of their experiences of life. There was a mixture of humor and heartfelt experiences, and just real life, everyday experiences that the women shared, and it was just wonderful, major. So we truly believe that Saturday the 15th will be another amazing event. And that's amazing because of the people that will actually be involved in it, be part of it. And obviously the audience plays a massive role, a massive part. So we're looking forward to it. And so I think I saw, Dee, on your screen a little while ago that something like there's only 40 tickets left. I think I saw.
I saw that flash up.
No, I don't believe that. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Shelley's saying,
8 tickets sold today, because that was 48 when I looked before the show at lunchtime. 8 tickets have sold today, so there's 40 that are only available.
Oh my God. People.
Hey, don't feel sorry for them, girls. Don't feel sorry for them. Serve on a right. You snooze, you lose. People don't learn. They don't learn.
And I had a friend say to me, "Oh, I wanted an aisle seat," but I'm like, "You left it too late. You should have, if you want the aisle seat, you need to book it early."
Exactly.
Why have we got this thing? Because do you know what I mean, as organisers, but why have we got this thing? People will have, you've told them and the information is there. It's a case of like, why do I need to pay attention to that when I know these people? I will bypass that and I will get them to do me a little favour. So them and all the 200 plus people, you're going to do favours. And everybody's going to be sitting on top of everybody.
Right. and then there's the, well, it's all right, I'll get the ticket. I'll get one. There'll be a couple of tickets left. And then you find that there aren't. So, and we don't want anyone to be disappointed.
They're going to be disappointed, mate. Don't you worry about that. That's a good thing. You must understand that, Hanifa. A good thing, that.
Yes, a good thing.
Make them disappointed.
I'm looking at messages in the chat, and I'm just seeing that Veronica. Thank you, Veronica. You've got your ticket.
I've seen it's been out there. It's not like it come out yesterday. It's been out there for a while. So if you've seen it and you haven't purchased, for your business. Okay, your business. So we are super excited.
And then I'm coming. Nice one, Shelley. Nice one, Shelley. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Dee, do you mind if I just mention the names of the ladies that are going to be performing on the night?
Of course.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have Ava Vidal, who's the comedian. We have Patty Slowly, who's the celebrity chef. Jenny Ingram Brown, who's a singer. Kat, who goes by Kat All That. Poetry. Delphina James, who's a steel pan artist.
Awesome.
Amira Mitchell. Amira Mitchell, who's a beautiful young singer, only 19, and likes to get the young women in.
Blow your way.
Nadine Salmon, who's a Jamaican folk singer. So we need some old school coming.
Come on.
Brittany Virginia, who's a local poet and filmmaker. And then our DJ for the night is D-Light, originally hailing from Bedford. So that's who we got on the night.
So
come along. We also have Hanifa and Diane. Hello. Do you know what you can have? I'm keeping it real. You can have an absolutely incredible lineup. An awesome lineup, and it can be sold out. Your host can make or break an event.
100%. 100%.
Okay,
so it's not a case of like, oh, we're being big, but honest to God, the chemistry you two have is it's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Honestly, and it just. Oh my God, I was like going like, it's like watching TV. And it's like, you don't want it to stop and you're going like, oh, what?
And that's what I was going to say. Many people comment on that as well. And we don't recognize it. We just do what we do, really. And it's
exactly. Which makes it even more better.
We don't even think about it.
Everything. You're just being you. And it's
just being us.
It works. It works so well.
I think that from when we met, I think we've just had this banter and relationship straight away.
And it's just so crazy, completely crazy. And long may it continue is what I say. Definitely. It's just that chemistry that sisters can, as we all know, that's chemistry that sisters can share together when you just let go all the fluff, and just keep it real, be yourself.
It's so like you say, D, real talk. We're real with each other.
And it just honestly, it's so works. I love it. Love it. Cannot wait. Okay, let us know if there's anything else that you need. You both got my you've got our details. So just let us know.
Will do, definitely. Thank you. Thanks so much, Steve. Thanks, Shelley.
No problem.
Thanks to the show.
All right. Thanks for coming on, ladies.
Really appreciate it. Thanks everyone for listening.
See ya. Bye.
Bye-bye. Yay. Oh, I remember last year like it was yesterday.
It was really, really good.
I remember last year like it was yesterday, and that's how quickly we're talking.
It is that kind of variety as well that's difficult to come across when you say about doing the event. It is a proper variety of different things that are then going on. So it's not just a spoken word event. It's not just poetry. It's everything.
Mixed in. So just a little bit like our event shell, it's going to be sold out.
I said 8 tickets today because that was 48 when I looked at just before the lunchtime show, because I knew we were going to talk about it and say that it was going on. So I thought just need to double check how many tickets there were, and there were 48 at midday. So in less than 6 hours they've sold 8.
You snooze, you lose. Don't feel sorry for anyone. Sorry. You know how to get the tickets. The information not only is being on the screen, it's on their social media pages. I'm sure it's been shared over WhatsApp. If you miss anything, you know how to contact us. We will certainly pass that information on. So get your tickets ASAP. So who do we have in the wings? I've seen that lady messaging. Is there anybody else in the wings?
Yes, we have Miss Veronica. We have Miss Yvonne. And we also have Dr. Loretta.
No way. Cool.
Do you want them all on together?
Tell you what, put them all on together and then I'm going to pick them off one by one. Kind of type thing.
Pick them off.
Let's get them all on together. Hey! Hey, hey, sisters.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
If you listened just literally previously, we had Hanifa and Diane talking about the Nubian queens, and we have them on the screen right now. Some of them. By the way, these guys aren't performing next week, just in case these those people watching thinking Dr. Loretta is going to be doing a bit of spoken word. I've heard actually Yvonne and Veronica, they both do actually sing because I've heard them.
But do you know I'm a poet?
Sorry?
I'm a poet, you know.
No. Are you going to drop some next in a couple of weeks?
I could just drop some rhythm.
You watch and see. I gone drop some on all of you. So I just wanted you all on the screen for the moment now. Dr. Loretta, I've got to practice your surname before I say you. So I'm going to say goodbye. I'm not having you on quite yet because I know Yvonne's time's limited. So if that's okay with Veronica and Dr. Loretta, I'm going to ask Shelley just to take you off screen for just a little while I have a chat with Yvonne.
It's
and
okay.
Then I will bring
Good
you
to
to
see you again, Yvonne.
You too.
Auntie V.
Oh, wow. Oh, greetings, greetings. How you doing?
I am very good. Very busy and very good.
Do you know what? I knew you were coming on because obviously you said you wanted to come on and everything like that. You know what the show's called? Because let me put it out there to the masses that have either joined now or have been watching. This show started, I think it was the 4th of May, or the 1st, can't remember, 2018. And that very first show, the very first guest was Yvonne John.
Yes. Yes. Look how far we've come.
I know. So people were going like, yeah, they didn't think this show would still be going. Yes, still going, not in the studio, but I wouldn't be speaking to people overseas. Oh, look, there's Tishi. Oh my gosh. I don't know when you sort of like joined on. You might have joined on. I don't know what time you joined the show, but I started off the show. We did a minute's silence. I asked Shelley to do a minute's silence. Over the past period of time, so many people have passed away. So many people are unwell. And so much is going on for different people, obviously for different reasons. And I just wanted to take, you know, and we did a minute's silence. The show's called Real Talk. You've been on before. Nothing scripted as such. I feel because I've got you on the show, I think we've seen each other, but I've got you on the show. I can't have you on the show without mentioning my man, your man, my man, who I knew for a period of time, Cleve. And I was talking today about the hub, the community hub that we had in the market, and that's where I first met him. And just how, what a presence.
Yeah.
What it's so unforgettable. And from the hub, you guys came in quite a few times to the hub, did screenings, you guys came along and supported. And so I need to say thank you both. Thank you, Cleve. Later on, actually, we've actually got Nadine White coming on. Do you remember were you at the Barrel Children? Were you at the Barrel Children?
No.
I can't remember.
Right. We attended that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But she's going to be coming on a little bit later, which I'm sure you'll find interesting. But I just wanted to say that. Is there anything, because we're going to move on to other stuff, but is there anything that you wanted to say? Because I don't know, because I'm sure people ask questions, people have you, and you might just want to kind of just knock something out of the park here.
Oh, wow. And we're talking about Cleve, right? In terms of,
yeah, I've said that. Please.
yeah. No, I'm just making
Oh.
sure I'm still on the same page.
Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, and I'm sure there's a lot of people listening who have no idea what you're talking about as well.
They do, even when they do. So don't worry.
So for those of you who don't know, my fiance died last April. So it's coming up to a year since his death, and it was a sudden death, very unexpected. He was very healthy, very much full of life. We had planned to get married November this year. So yeah, this last year has been incredibly difficult, and you know, as you know, he was becoming a great influential part of the community. I think, you know, without revealing too much of his past, he, you know, I saw him become this extremely proud Black man, proud of his heritage, proud of his culture. I saw him wanting to fully embrace life, where he, you know, prior to, or at the time I met him, that energy wasn't there. And to see him grow and thrive in our relationship was such a joy to witness. You know, I think there's something I must say that, like, I hadn't fully experienced before in terms of relationships and meeting people, and then understanding about connections and energies, and when you're vibrating on the same energy, what magic can happen. And that's exactly what I experienced with him, and it filled my heart with so much joy and so much love. And then to have him just ripped away from me, you know, I felt so robbed and cheated with life. As much as I was grateful for the time I had with him, we were together 5 years. Or had known him for 5 years, fully together for 3 years, lived together for a year. You know, I have the gratefulness and the joy of knowing him and experiencing his love, and him experiencing mine. And I have the anger and sadness of having all our hopes and dreams just ripped away, and having to go on with this. What would my life have been like if he was still here? So it's incredibly difficult. And you know, very joyous at the same time to have known him.
That's the show's called Real Talk. I couldn't have you on the show without mentioning him. Not only was it, how tall was he?
6'4".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without mentioning, please. You just
Yeah, and he was a present. People, I'm seeing Shelley's message that she's put in the show, because yes, it was a year ago that we were both at the show, and he was a presence. He was somebody that would walk in and get noticed, and he always had a smile, and he always had joy, and he had so much love for meeting people and talking to people. You know, he got a lot of energy from being around others. He absolutely loved it. He really did.
No, and when I told my son that he passed away, and he was like, because do you remember it was only a few weeks prior that we did the boxing event? We screened the documentary, wasn't it?
Yes.
And so my son was sitting, because remember I sort of like called a few people up from the audience to be part of a panel, and he's so game kind of thing, and he came up, and my son said, and he said like, oh, he was so, you know, in that short space of time and the conversation that he had with him.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. So
it
that's
really says a lot about him, that, you know, just I've known people to have met him once and feel like they knew him forever.
Yeah.
So that's how much of a presence he had, and how much of a lasting memory he left with people.
For sure. So on today's show, that is our tribute to Cleve.
Yeah.
To you. No, don't thank me. Don't thank me. I had to do that. So we will move on, and we will. Oh my gosh, you've been doing so much. I don't know how many. I believe there's 24 hours in a day, but I believe somehow you've squeezed in Somehow you've squeezed in more, I reckon. I don't know how you manage it. You've got more hours than everybody else. What's going on?
I have a magic wand.
So there's people out there, some are like, oh yeah, that's that lady, that's that. So we're laying a foundation, and hopefully sort of like, I'm sure Veronica and Dr. Loretta are like fine, but it's really important, and you know yourself, for me, I have sort of like guests on the show, and whatever it is, I don't know whether it's an event or their business, I can't just get straight into that, because people that are watching, it's like, who are you?
Yeah.
Need a little bit of knowing who the person, and then when it all kind of gels well. So can you give us just a little bit about yourself, and kind of like bring us to where you are now? And obviously I will interrupt you as and when.
I always struggle to know where to start when people ask me.
I know.
It's
Were you born in Luton?
Sorry?
Were you born in Luton?
No, I was born in South London. I was born in Dulwich. So I grew up in South London. I moved to Luton maybe about 25 years ago now.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay.
And because my maths is rubbish, it probably is a bit more.
Oh, don't worry, we've got mathematicians out there. They don't like nothing better than to try and work out somebody's age. Watch. I'm just saying, gosh. Yeah, so you've been in Luton for a little while, and sort of like, had you finished schooling before you came here then?
Yes,
I'm just saying. What are you laughing?
You're just my manager thinks I started work at 4. Yes, I was working when I moved to Luton. So yeah, I've been around for a while.
Okay, she old. Don't worry, everybody. No matter with the maths. So, so job-wise.
So, but my background is biomedical science. So I trained as a hematology biomedical scientist, or I should say a biomedical scientist specializing in hematology. So for those of you who don't know, that's routine diagnostic lab testing. I qualified in 1993, have been working around London, different labs in London. My first managerial role was when I moved out to Watford General Hospital, and I have been in different managerial roles for the last, must be about 20 years. Yeah.
Everybody do the maths. Okay, so enjoy it?
Yeah, it is enjoyable. Very interesting work.
Okay, let's leave that then. It's enjoyable, very interesting work.
Okay,
it sounds very interesting. But okay, so
that's why you have me here. So,
so no, I didn't want you to go into it, but just
okay.
laying the foundation. So that's the kind of area that you're working in hospital, managerial, all that sort. So spare time, where is the passion? What is being?
So I am a public speaker, and I'm an activist for the women of colour's experience around infertility. That's what I speak on. So I started public speaking in 2017, and you again gave me the first opportunity to do that when I spoke at International Women's Day back in 2017 or 2016? Oh, it's been a while. And I suppose I'm going to go back a bit, because my journey in terms of my activism started in 2014, when I got diagnosed with unexplained infertility. So prior to that, I had been trying. I got married at 39, and at 40 decided I wanted to try to have a baby. Now, I was very ambivalent about motherhood. So entering a marriage, not necessarily wanting to be a mum, that's how we, that's what we did at the time. That was a conversation we had. because of our age, we just thought, you know, our time had passed because of the decisions I'd made in the past. I thought, you know, this wasn't going to happen for me. So I remember us entering in this marriage thinking, yeah, you know, we may or may not have children. Actually, we thought we weren't going to have children. It was going to be fine. So at 40, when I decided, and it was me, that I wanted to try for a baby, we entered this very roller coaster 3 years of trying to conceive. And when I reflect back on it, it's a time that I never thought would be as difficult as it was. I think when people talk about having children, you think it's a very, very simple process. I mean, we grew up hearing things like, don't look at a guy the wrong way because you're going to get pregnant. So there's never a narrative that there could be issues with your fertility, there could be difficulties with getting pregnant, or you may not have a child at all. So that isn't just not in our mindsets. So to then be faced with the fact that actually this might not happen became an extremely surprising, difficult time for me. So as much as no one ever told me, so I had fertility investigations and was told everything was fine. So they couldn't find any reason why I couldn't conceive a child. And at the time also encouraged me to continue. I could have tried for IVF, but I was 43, nearly 44 at the time. So I would have had to pay for it myself, and also would have had a 4% chance of conceiving. But I knew in my heart that it wouldn't happen. And I remember leaving that consultant's office just crying. I remember then any situation I was in where somebody was pregnant, somebody had a small child, on the train, in the supermarket, didn't matter where I went, wherever I saw a young family, all I could do was cry. And I had a lot of then thoughts of, I'm never going to have that. I'm never going to be them. And the grief, and I didn't understand it as grief at the time, but it was undescribable. It was so intense. It was, as I said, it was a surprise because I didn't think I really wanted to be a mum. When I had in 2015, 2016, I had done a year-long Plan B mentorship program with Gateway Women to work through my grief of not becoming a mum. And then on reflection, I realized that, you know, buying into the narrative of you go to university, you get a job, you get married, you buy your house, you have kids. And I really bought into that. And I didn't realize that how much I had bought into that. And so it was about having a child under the right circumstances, according to the narrative that was sold to me. And therefore, when that didn't happen, it was hard to understand and hard to deal with. Whilst on the program, I realized that there were so many other women in the same situation, and how much it was needed, how much I needed to be in that space to have my grief accepted, because one, I wouldn't have accepted it myself in the first place, but then being around other women, realizing that actually society doesn't allow us to not have children, because patriarchy says to be a woman, you have to be married and have a child. So therefore, if you don't fit into that narrative, who are we? And I have heard stories of women being told that when they got pregnant, for example, they were told you're a woman now, and they're in their 30s. It's like, so what were they before? It can be extremely, extremely difficult to be in a society that actually creates this narrative. And therefore, we feel like we've lost our places in our families, in our friends, in the workplace. What purpose do we have? You know, basically, what's the point of living now? Because, you know, if I'm not going to be a mum, there's just nothing left for me. And on hearing that and realizing that through other women's stories, including my own, I thought, you know what, I really wanted to give our voices back, and I really needed society to hear, and the circles I was in to hear, that this is bloody hard, and we need you to understand why it's so hard and to stop trying to fix us. So that inspired my book, Dreaming of a Life Unlived, which I then published in 2017. So that's a collection of stories of women finding a fulfilling life without children.
I can't believe it's that long ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She's grown up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
it feels like yesterday, because I remember all the things that led up to that as well, including speaking at International Women's Day, because that's when I announced that it when it would be coming out, and then getting it and holding it. I mean, that book's my baby. You know, she was conceived. The idea was conceived through love and inspiration and joy, and she was nurtured and she grew. So I went through this whole period of you know, gestation, and then she was born, and then she arrived. It was, you know, that was just amazing to be able to put words to an experience that in the beginning was undescribable. And it was so empowering to do it as well. It was such a, for me, it was and continues to be such a healing experience. I think, you know, I know when I was told I had unexplained infertility, I remember feeling like it had to be my fault. So shame was a big thing that came up for me at the time, and guilt, all around the fact that I had 2 terminations in my 20s. So therefore, I didn't deserve to grieve, because it had to be my fault. And therefore, I couldn't, for one, because I didn't understand the grief. I didn't have a language to say I was this sad or why I was that sad. And then 2, I didn't think I deserved to grieve. And if I didn't think I deserved to grieve, other people were going to tell me in my head that I didn't deserve to grieve because I had given up the chance to be a mother all those years ago. So it's a very, very difficult space to navigate when, as I said, society doesn't let you grieve because there's so many fixing options that they feel, you know, and I've experienced this, people feel like you can do something about it. So have you tried IVF? Why didn't you try adoption? What about sperm donors, donor eggs, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on. So once we're in that arena of the miracle baby story, people then also find it hard to sit with our grief and allow our grief because we can do something about it. And if we didn't really want it bad enough, which is so not true. You know, and as I said, what we're doing is trying to navigate this very painful, tricky period of our journeys and then make decisions. You know, I made the decision once I understood why I was grieving and what this grief meant for me. I made the decision not to try IVF, not to go down the adoption route, and to try and live a life, to have a life that I wanted and be happy with that. And so I've had to justify those decisions. I don't know why I should have to justify the decisions I make with my life. Parents don't have to justify why they've had children. But yet we have to do that because society doesn't accept this as a norm. And I really, you know, through my work, through my activism, I really want to normalize these conversations and normalize our experiences because it's so vital that our voices are heard and that we can be heard with care and compassion as well.
Wow. Wow. Do you know why I'm going to stop you?
Tell me.
Well, yeah, you know, because you are going to, I'm facilitating, I'm hosting this amazing event, the FAB event, on the 29th of March. And this will be your 2nd year, right?
Yeah.
This will be your 2nd year. Those people watching, whether they're watching now, please throw in any questions that you've got now, because at some stage I'll get Yvonne to answer them. Why are you doing the event?
So one of the
For
things,
you, yeah.
I suppose it's probably quite layered actually for me. So being about menopause and hysterectomy, I had my hysterectomy in 2019, I think it was. And when it was so difficult to get to that point, there's a whole medical journey and a lot of headache that I've had with the medical professionals up until that point. A lot was wrapped up with my infertility and how I was seen as a Black woman in the system because we're seen as hyperfertile. And it reminded me of the narratives of in my 20s of, you know, Black people breed like rabbits, when actually we have Black women are more likely to be, twice as likely to be infertile or have fertility issues as white women. So trying to fight my way through the system, even just to get fertility tests, to see a fertility consultant was really hard to navigate. You know, I had to lie just to get in front of a fertility consultant. And then working through finding out that I was severely anemic because I had very, very heavy periods. So as a result of fibroids, severely so anemic that I was always out of breath. I was always tired, but then being told that it must be my age. To then find out that I had adenomyosis, which then would have affected the fact that, well, would have impacted on my period. So it gave an answer to why my periods were so painful and heavy. And when I say painful, I mean I'm overdosing on painkillers just to get out of bed and function with a dull pain, not even taking away the pain. So, you know, how I'm seen as this Black woman in the healthcare system became very evident. I should say that the other way around. It became very evident that I was being seen and treated differently as a Black woman presenting in the healthcare system, which was very, very difficult to kind of navigate through. And then when I found out I had the adenomyosis, and then finding out the only cure for that is a hysterectomy, because prior to that, they wanted to give me a hysterectomy because of my fibroids, which I thought was crazy and I really fought against. And then finding out I had the adenomyosis, which could have affected my fertility. And then being angry that I didn't know this sooner. I don't know what would have happened.
I'm
but
sorry, because I'm
not.
stopping you. I don't want you to tell me all this now. I want to know this now. I want to know this on the day, because these people, this is just we're reading them in.
Yeah,
it's just a little sprinkling, not too much, just a little
Yeah,
sprinkling.
good.
So just tell them you're going to be there, and what are you going to, just give me two sentences. What are you going to be bringing on the 29th?
So, 2 sentences. I'm bringing my, you know, I mean, some of the things I've said, I am giving you a sprinkling of kind of why I'm doing this stuff. And then, you know, having the hysterectomy, because that took a lot to get there as well. Given that actually finding out Black women are offered hysterectomies at a higher rate than white women, and at a younger age too. And then finding out I'm menopausal, which no one in the healthcare system ever thought was possible, because no one ever said it.
Wow.
Then going through that, and then you kind of umbrella that with the fact that you don't have children. So to navigate having a hysterectomy and the menopause without having children adds another layer to the grief of not becoming a mum. So for me, I'm bringing the narrative of navigating myself, as I've described, through this healthcare system as a Black woman and how I'm seen, but then how the invisibility of menopause and hysterectomies then also impacts on my grief that no one ever thinks about and thinks to ask about.
Wowza. If you are, certainly if you're a woman, and you know what, even if you are a man, trust me, 29th of March, all the information is on the screen. The fibroids, hysterectomy and beyond conference. We're going to be talking about it throughout the show this evening. Yvonne, for now, purely due to time constraints, because I could listen. Oh my gosh, this is so much, so much. So I'm so glad you're back this year.
Me too.
Unfortunately for you, I'm hosting. Even worse. We will catch up soon, darling. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to bring a little new flair to it as well. So.
Oh, yes. Excellent. Exactly. Get your tickets early, everybody. All right, darling. We'll catch up soon.
Bye.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye. Right. Shelley, can you pop on for 1 second, please? So this is just, I'm hosting, and I'm kind of like, because these are things we're gonna be at, which is just so. Are you okay, by the way?
Yes.
No.
It's so much that resonates with all the time with Yvonne's story, and it is trying to explain to people that, oh right, because you've gone past that stage now, then okay, that didn't work, and carry on. And talking about hysterectomies and things at the moment, it's what's kind of going on with me with my hormones that is all still up in the air and could be a path that I would need to take. Whereas it's because I've got PMDD, even though it hasn't officially been said by a gynecologist yet, but all through this year, it's just been gradually getting worse and worse. And I know what it is. That the delays that are trying to get into the gynae at the hospital and having appointments cancelled and everything else just doesn't help. It does not help. And that's what happened to me when I was trying for a baby and having a gynae appointment put back and put back and put back for months and months and months. It just, anything will trigger you off. Anything will trigger you off.
So I think you'll find, if you review this video back, everybody, and Shelley, I'm going to give you one of them because I forgot to mention to put on your seatbelts.
Ah, yes.
This is what this show, it does take you on an awesome roller coaster. Now, I am cutting you, but not deliberately cutting you. Now, Shelley, sorry, Shelley, because you are Shelley, Veronica and Dr. Loretta, I need you, please, please, please stay with us. I need to bring on this young lady because she's got to disappear shortly. Is Nadine there?
No, she's not. She popped on and then she went off.
Okay. Because she's messaged me. She's got to disappear in sort of like 20 minutes or so. So I was going to bring her on. Okay. Can you bring on Veronica, please?
Okay.
Who's this lady?
On TV. Oh, Nadine's just come on now. Sorry.
Oh, V. Yeah. Thank you, darling. Thank you for being so understanding. Hopefully Nadine's watching, and so she's like kind of like, I better get back on that show. Where is that young lady?
It's just connecting devices. It comes up as devices not connecting, so it's just coming through now.
Coming true, come true, come true. You coming true, darling?
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't see you.
Oh.
So for those people, the masses watching, there's no pressure, Nadine, because I know you can hear me. We are currently the lady that was just on is the producer. She has told me we are at 999,000.
Wow. I'm trying to...
no pressure, but we are, it's on you to push us past the 1 million marker.
I will do my very best. I seems to be letting me down. I'm the start camera button, but it's not working.
Did you go out and come back in?
I did, yeah, because I was in the waiting room for a while. And
okay, let's talk a bit as we are, and hopefully we can get you on because it just gives it that flavour when people can see you and it's just more relatable. So I met this young lady, I do believe it was in 2023.
Yes.
2023, and I'm like, who, what? And before, I know you've never been on the show before, Nadine, so thank you for taking time out. The show is called Real Talk. It's Simply Deez, which is me, and it's so important for me. I've been doing the show since 2018, and it's a monthly show, and people come on and talk about all sorts of things, all sorts.
It's amazing to be on.
It's just important for me that people know a little bit about who we've got on the screen. who we're talking to. So that way then, when you talk about certain things, it's just more relatable. So can you just give us just a little bit of your background? Sort of like, I don't know, where you were born, just how was school?
Sure. So first of all, thanks for having me on your show. It's been a long time coming. I know that we've been planning to come on your show for a while, so I'm really happy to be speaking with you on your show tonight. Hopefully we can get the camera sorted so that you can see my face. But I am a journalist, filmmaker, and author from South London, Brixton to be exact.
You're fading in and out.
Hello.
Yeah.
Any better?
Yeah, that's better. Yes.
Okay, I'm coming. I'm leaning right into the screen, so hopefully this will hold. So my name's Nadine White, and I'm a journalist, filmmaker, and author from South London, Brixton to be exact. And yeah, I've lived in South London all my life. Was based in Birmingham a few years ago, but more or less lived in London all my life. I'm in my early 30s. I currently work at The Independent, which is a leading online news platform where my title is race correspondent. So I focus on stories within and around Black, Asian and minoritized communities. And prior to that, I worked at HuffPost UK, The Voice newspaper, The Gleaner. And yeah, that's a bit about me. I am also a filmmaker, as I mentioned, and my debut documentary, Barrel Children, The Family's Windrush Left Behind, was released in 2023. It debuted among the top films at the UK box office, and it was a self-produced, self-funded endeavour. So I'm really proud at the film's success and how it has resonated.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. And I'm not saying that for something to say for those people that are watching. There was many of you, we were sold out to be precise, that came along and saw the documentary, and he was actually there. We did the Q&A as well, which worked brilliantly. And it's only due to time constraints, because otherwise you'd still be there now, Nadine. There was questions and questions, and yeah. So when they say, when they say barrel children, because people are going like, barrel what, who, what, where, when, can you just, just tell us a bit about, when you say barrel children, barrel child, what are you talking about?
Sure. So the barrel children is a term used to refer to the young people who were born and raised in the Caribbean and grew up away from their parents before migrating to join their parents in the UK and also the US and Canada. So it refers to children who were, well, I was going to say born in a particular era. My documentary focuses on barrel children of the Windrush era, so children, young people who were born between 1948 and the early 1970s, and oftentimes raised by extended family members while their parents migrated. So the parents, in many cases, migrated, in search of what people would refer to as a better life, better economic prospects. And many of them sent parcels. Parcels were more common, to be fair, at a particular time than barrels, but also barrels back to their families in the Caribbean, full of various things like clothes, sometimes, treats like sweets, different things, not just for the children who they left behind, but the extended family members and members in their community as well. Yeah, exactly. So the term barrel children was popularized by an academic by the name of Dr. Claudette Crawford Brown. It's a Jamaican academic who studied for many years and taught for many years at the University of West Indies. She popularized the term, and she's conducted pioneering research in this area, particularly focusing on young people, barrel children of the 1990s. So my film looks at barrel children who were born, as I say, during the Windrush era, what's known as the Windrush era, 1948 up to the early 1970s. And the documentary is comprised of interviews, just speaking with them about their childhoods, what it was like for them growing up in the Caribbean, but also the culture shock, what it was like for those who were sent for, or summoned, to use another term, by their parents to come to England, cold, grey England, a land unknown, you know, a country that they'd never been to before, to parents and family members who they, in many cases, didn't know, didn't have any real recollection of. So that's a bit about the term barrel children, what it means, and how it applies to the film.
And how long have you been researching to put this documentary together?
Well, I have been researching. I say it was a labor of love, and the documentary, the work that I poured into it, started in 2017. So a long time. So it took, what's that, six years to come to fruition. And so it was a case of conducting interviews during evenings and weekends alongside my work, alongside, you know, courses of study that I went on in pursuit of my journalism ambitions. And so, yeah, a long time. And I credit, you know, the work of academics and people who have looked at this phenomenon, like Dr. Claudette Crawford Brown, and also Dr. Elaine Arnold, who I also interview in the documentary, but been researching on it for a long time. And it's actually my father who inspired me to create the documentary. So he passed away a long time ago, you know, when I was younger. Thank you. But I remember him talking very fondly about his earlier childhood years growing up in Jamaica, under the care of his maternal grandmother, Miss Georgie. Him and my auntie Evelyn, they were both left behind by their parents, who came to the UK to, you know, build a better life. And, you know, obviously he didn't go into the emotional intricacies of, you know, his experience and how traumatic it was for him, particularly coming to the UK. But I do remember him talking about how much he missed his grandma when the day came, you know, for him to leave Jamaica and his friends and all that he knew to come to England. And so over the years, as I grew older and you know, learned more about our people and our history, I realized that the barrel child phenomenon is actually really common. And for many people who went through that experience, they were traumatized, frankly, you know, by the displacement that the experience entailed. So the documentary is all about centering these experiences that, you know, as far as I see it, isn't discussed enough openly because of the you know, the pain that often belies those experiences.
Wow. I mean, as I said, it was a full house anyway, and there's so many questions. There were so many people that actually identified as the term, as you say, barrel child. And I think there was some that were there but didn't actually realise that that is actually what they were.
Yes, yeah. Not everyone.
They would, if you'd have said that, they'd have been like, well, that's not me. But then when you sort of like listened to the documentary and you heard others, it was actually, that is me.
Yeah, exactly. Not everyone identifies with that term, which is fair enough. And some people actually feel that such terms like barrel children, in a way, it doesn't necessarily speak to them or their experiences, which is fair enough. But you know, the thing with phrases and terminology and language, we employ it to make sense of things and to describe experiences. And I guess it's for the individual to determine whether or not it's something that they can relate to. But yeah, it's a interesting conversation, and as I say, these experiences absolutely should be centered in the national, international discussions around migration and belonging and Windrush. You know, since the eruption of the Windrush scandal in 2018, when it came to the public's attention that the UK government was, you know, for years stripping Caribbean-born British citizens of their rights to live and work and lead a dignified life in the UK, the Windrush scandal as we know it, there has been a greater awareness of the Windrush migration and the fantastic contributions of, you know, these trailblazers from the Caribbean to British life. But we don't talk as much, as I say, about the sacrifices, frankly, and the emotional cost of Windrush migration and what it means for Black Caribbean families in particular, and intergenerational trauma. So these are very important conversations, and I'm so glad that the film, as I say, resonated with so many people.
You can't see the screen, can you?
I can.
You can.
Yes.
So you can see your picture. You can see the comment.
Yes, I can. Hi, Nadine. Your story and your work on barrel children. Such an important story experience in the lives of so many Black people. Wishing you continued success in your work. Thank you so much, Miss Hanifa. I really appreciate it.
I'm going to share with you, because Hanifa was on a little bit earlier on, I'm going to share with you an event that she has coming up next Saturday, which is the 15th of March. And it would be amazing. Because remember, Luton is only down the road. Voices of Shelley. Can you put? I don't know what you've got. I don't know if you've got a flyer or anything. If you could put it on, Voices of Nubian Queens, and it literally is. There's actually, where is Hanifa? Why am I plugging in? And I've got the person herself on. But there's spoken word, there's poetry, there's singing, there's storytelling, all by Black queens, Nubian queens, and it there's also like a mini market, and there's just so much, absolutely incredible. You'd love it.
Amazing.
Absolutely love it. But I'll share that information with you. Can you tell our masses? I think we're nearly on the 1 millionth marker now, Nadine. We're nearly there, love.
Amazing.
Can you tell us what you're currently doing, and if there's anything that we can do to help support the work that you're doing?
Sure. So I'm working on a few things, but I suppose the first thing that jumps to my mind is the fact that I'm working on a follow-up film, The Barrel Children Part 2. So I can share this exclusively with you, Miss Steve Bailey. And
we might be going over the millions. Go on, Nadine, share it.
Exclusive reveal that I am working on Barrel Children Part 2, and currently in the process of thank you, of reaching out to people who would be interested in speaking with me about their experiences. So when I say people, I'll go into more detail. I specifically mean people who were born in the Caribbean between 1948 and early 1970s, grew up at least in part in the Caribbean, but also specifically their parents, so the generation who would be in their 80s and 90s now. I'm very keen to speak with them for this film project, but also some academic research that I'm conducting into the phenomenon about their experiences. So both generations, I'm really keen on having these discussions. And so if anyone is interested in getting further information with the view of perhaps participating, then I'd encourage them to get in touch with me via my email address, if I can say that, Ms. D. It's hello.nadine.white@gmail.com. So hello, HELLO .nadine NADINE.white WHITE@gmail.com. And yeah, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. But as I say, this is all about documenting, archiving these important experiences, and making sure that it's placed as much as possible at the center of conversations around Windrush and migration.
Congratulations on Part 2, because we are kind of like, when it finishes, it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much more. And as I said, it's just due to time constraints, we had to come out, because the conversation could have gone on. People, actually, that's me, and hands have started going up. I did send you a contact yesterday. I don't know if you saw it. Did you see it?
I did.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm going to make contact with that person. So thank you. And
that's
yeah,
okay.
I mean, the event in Luton, I loved it. I think I mentioned to you, it was one of my first times in Luton, and I'm really keen to come back and spend some more time in Luton and maybe do more screenings, because there are people based in that area who have yet to see the film. And
yes,
so that is definitely on the to-do list. But
me and Nadine, Simply Deez and Nadine, will be working together in the future. Everybody, you heard it here first. That's another exclusive.
Yes. It's a must. Look forward to it.
It is. Oh my gosh, excellent. So sorry, you go.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing the info.
No, not go as in go. I mean, as in like you go first, because I think we've
No. I
at
was
the
just
same
saying
time.
thank you. I can see on the screen that my
Oh,
email and my Instagram's been shared. So I was just saying thank you for that.
I'll do.
No exaggeration. Every screening that I have, participated in, every screening of the film since it was released in June 2023, there's typically been, a bit of a panel discussion or a Q&A between myself and the audience. And every screening, somebody, at least one person's asked, will there be a part 2? Because there are more layers to these experiences that need to be explored. Talk less about the Barrel children who weren't sent for, who were not reunited
Yes.
with parents. That's another angle, as well as the experiences and the perspectives of, as I say, the parents' generation, what it must have been like for them, to leave their children, their family, all that they knew behind to venture into Britain, which, as we know, Britain wasn't kind to the new arrivals from the Caribbean, and racism was even more rife. There are various layers to be peeled back when we talk about these.
I was just going to say, so there's so many layers of trauma there, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Sort of like thinking it's just the person that's being left and then sent for, but what about those that got left behind? What about the parents? What about because literally the child was coming to a ready-made family, weren't they?
Exactly. And so
a ready-made family, and it's a case of how do you fit in? And obviously part 1, and if you haven't seen it and you demand it enough, me, Simply Deez and Nadine will see what we can do, because I think we've got to show it again.
That absolutely, I totally agree. I think that would be great.
We've got to go show it again for you to get a taster and a flavour. And I think even if you've seen it before, you'd still want to see it again, because there's always things that you missed and you didn't notice, and you didn't pick up on, first time round.
Yeah, I find that when I've watched films for the first time and then I watch it again and again, even in some cases, there are things that you may have missed first time around, or certain themes that you pick up on. So I'd encourage people to, if you want to see it, for those of you listening, wherever you are, feel free to let us know, and we can work on some screenings for sure. But I'm really excited about part 2, and there's been some interest as far as funding and partnerships, which was a real challenge with part 1. Part 1, as I say, was my debut documentary, and part of the reason why it took so long is because it was just a real uphill battle as far as securing funding and access to bring the film to fruition. So it was a self-funded endeavor. So seeing the reception to Barrel Children Part 1, there's been some exciting prospects around part 2. I can't wait to share.
Say, is this something, because I think when you were there before we discussed, is this being sort of like, I don't know, brought to schools? I mean, are they getting to see this, or I don't know, schools, colleges, unis, or are they not in the mix? I don't know, because I think the young people need to see this as well.
I agree. That's a really important question, Ms. D. So I can share that I entered into a partnership with Cineworld, which runs a chain of cinemas known as Picture House Cinemas, a couple of dozen sites across the UK. So I partnered with Cineworld, but between the end of 2023 and the end of last year, on school screening. So we collaborated and showed the film to school children between year 6 and year 11. So they came along to the various cinema sites and watched the film, and I actually put together a learning resource highlighting areas in the curriculum that correlate with certain key themes in the documentary, so that teachers could take that away and continue their learning in the classroom. So I'm really proud of that partnership, and I'm keen to ensure that more school children go along and see it. But I did a question and answer session with one school in particular, and it was just really it was cute.
They see things differently than we're going to see.
But it was, I don't know. I suppose I was a bit concerned. I knew that it was age appropriate, don't get me wrong, but because children are more, I don't know, perceptive than
Yeah,
some
direct.
realize. They really understood, you know, the important themes raised in the film, and the feedback that I got from them was incredibly humbling. So I think it's important that school children, as well as everyone else, as many people as possible, get to watch the film, because, you know, as much as it deals with specific experiences within, you know, Black Caribbean communities and families, there's something in the film that I think everyone can take something, can take things away from. You know, humanity is at the core of the film, and so I'm excited to continue, you know, showing the film to school children and as many people as possible.
Well done, you.
Thank you.
Well done, you. So I'm gonna, now that you've been on, partly on, because we ain't seen you. I know we've got your picture there, but it's all right if I was playing dance, but we're not playing dance today. So I need to see. So I don't want to see a still picture of you. I want to see you.
Yeah, I might have to switch devices. You know, that might solve it. I might go on my phone.
Switch your what? Sorry.
I might have to switch devices. Maybe that would work. So I could do that.
Okay. So what was I going to say to you? Yeah, what was I going to say to you? So in terms of, what do you write about? Anything, everything, or just specific?
Yeah, so my main area is current affairs, news, and politics. But, you know, it's anything and everything within that, but also sometimes lifestyle and entertainment. My main brief is are stories that are of interest to Black and Black, Asian, and minoritized communities, and it's a pioneering role in that there aren't any other race correspondents in the UK national newsroom. It was created in 2021. That's when I joined the Independent.
Wow.
In response, yeah, it feels like yesterday. It's really time flew, but in response to the lack of mainstream coverage in these areas, you know. So there's a long way to go as far as diversity and representation, good diversity and representation in UK newsrooms, and I think that has been acknowledged across the board. But my role just speaks to the importance of highlighting these underreported perspectives. So that's what I focus on a day-to-day.
Nadine White, you coming back?
I'd love to.
You're coming.
If you have me.
What do you mean if I have? Of course I'm going to have you. I can't believe it's taken me so long to get you.
No, we've been talking about it for a while, but I'm glad we made it happen.
Excellent. Because I'm going to have to let you go. Yes. Purely just time constraints and all of that jazz. But we're definitely going to be connecting up. We have to show number one, part one again. We have to show that again. And let's work something out.
Awesome.
Let's work something out. Anybody who is watching, you've got people watching now, but we get people in like a month's time. I just say in your video, are you still looking for, you know, that kind of stuff? This is what we get. This is what happens. So we will pass on anybody. Obviously, if they haven't got your contact information or don't find it, we will pass them on to you.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully they can be a part of or help towards the second documentary that you're putting together. So I know you're a busy woman.
Thank you.
But if you can, while you're busy in a way, still listen in the background, because this conference that is coming up, let's bring on the young lady in question, actually, the founder, CEO extraordinaire. Stay there, Nadine, sit tight, sit tight. Okay. This young lady, she was at the Barrel children's screening. Veronica Ebanks in the house. One of my very, 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 I was going to say oldest, but I don't mean it like that, because then, anyway, friends. Yes, Nadine, this may be something interesting for you to report on. So, V, just very quickly, you were at the Barrel Children, weren't you? Did you come to that screening?
Oh, I think you're on mute, Miss Veronica. No,
can't hear you.
I'm lip reading right now.
No, can't hear you.
No. No, not since you came up.
Stop playing, Arvi. Stop playing. This woman's spoken word. She's probably acting. No, she ain't. Seriously, can't hear you. No. You might have to go out and come back in. I don't know.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Hi.
Oh, I don't know what happened there. The settings. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
It did something. Right.
It's all good. You were at the
Yes,
Barrel
I
Children
did
Part 1.
attend the Barrel Children Part 1. I was there. And yeah, very, very informative, moving, triggering in parts, but, you know, a story or a narrative that needed to be shared. That needed to be. And Nadine did that perfectly.
Thank you so much. And it was lovely to meet you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we all have, well, some of us have stories, and sadly for some there was no barrel. So, but that's for another day. That's for another day.
Like another layer that needs to be.
Another layer.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that's another layer. For some there was no barrel, and then you know, then the specter of informal adoption. Yeah, interfamily adoption is another layer. So
absolutely,
I'm sure we can, you know, share on that another time.
An important discussion.
Yeah,
definitely. So
yeah.
Nadine, I'm going to let you go, but please listen in if you can.
Oh, I will.
Thank you for having me. We're just talking about a very important event that V has coming up. I'm going to be hosting, and yeah,
let me know
because it might be something that most definitely I'll share with you, because it might be I think, I'm sure V will agree, something very important that you may even want to do an article on.
Yeah, no,
because
please.
It's not spoken about. So V,
yes.
you've got good listening ears, girl. So rather than sort of like go into, you know how we normally do, as into your whole history, but just condense it into sort of like
a couple of sentences
of your
a couple of sentences
like Yvonne.
Like what you said to Yvonne. There's 2 sentences. Right. So I'm a Jamaican. Okay. So I'm a Jamaican-born, British-raised, mother of 4, grandmother to 11, science background. I'm science qualified, and I have a small micro business, and I currently supporting students in my local college with maths, English, and a couple of other subjects, science, and some other stuff.
Check you out. Well done, girl. Well done. Do you know what I mean? It's like speed dating, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this has been going across. That's right, Hanifa. That's right. So the conference details are all going across the ticker there, but we're kind of like, this didn't come out of nowhere. It's like, right, do you know what? Wake up one day and I'm going to just put on a conference. I need you to sort of like take us back to when you actually, please, Dr. Loretta, if you can message in the box and let Shelley know if you're okay for time, please. Please let us know that. But it's really important.
I don't mind going. I don't mind going later. I don't mind because
I don't know what, but I just wanted Nadine to listen to what you've got to say, so that would be something. I really do hope that Nadine feels it's something that warrants being in her paper. I really think it's something that's important. So that's why I wanted her still to be around to hear what you've got to say, V.
Okay. Dr. Loretta says she's okay. She's okay.
Fab.
Okay. Fab. Right. Where did all this start? Becoming the founder and organizer of FAB. FAB, for those who are listening, stands for fibroid hysterectomy and Beyond UK conference. I had my own fibroids journey or gynecological journey years ago, over a decade ago. And I kept a journal. I found the journal 2 years ago and decided to publish it just quietly under the radar, just put it on Amazon. And from there, from the book launch of that, I had a launch that Dee, yourself, hosted that evening, and a panel discussion that featured Yvonne John, who was on earlier, and a nurse, and I think myself. And from there, after that had concluded, people approached me and said, so what next? So we've opened this box of taboo stuff. Where do we go from here? And I went to bed and then woke up and said, yeah, we need a conference because we don't talk about this stuff. It's all taboo. It's all hidden. And women are suffering. Women are, there's a whole range of things. We're going late to our medical professionals. We're being diagnosed late. We're not talking. We're suffering in silence. We think certain things are normal and are just ordinary when they're not. And when we do eventually present to the medical profession or to whoever, we are in dire straits. We need more severe or more intense support and treatment. So just to say, I'm not pushing hysterectomy because I've had a couple of conversations with people and I just need to make that clear. I myself underwent a hysterectomy for my issues. All right. And there are so many women who are diagnosed or where hysterectomy is recommended. Not everybody, but yeah. So there are some issues. But if we don't talk, we're not going to know. If we don't come together, share, help each other, yes, in that kind of greater sisterhood. Let's talk. Let's not suffer in silence, because once we're talking, then things can come to light. We can see patterns. We can see disparities. We can see where there are shortfalls. We can see where we can make improvements. So we need to talk. And this is why the conference came about.
Thank you. Can you give me some stats?
Yeah.
In terms of...
in America, I'll give you some stats from America. 23 million women and girls suffer with fibroids, and that's the latest figure from the Society of Women's Health in the States. In Britain, in UK, the NHS perform around 40,000 hysterectomies a year, and 80+ % of women will suffer from fibroids during their life course. And women like yourself that look like you, me, Yvonne, and will be at the high end of that. So 85% of us, Black women, will suffer with fibroids at some point in their life course. It affects everyone, all ethnicities, but we seem to get it more. Yeah. And in terms of productivity and money lost, one Japanese study showed that $86 billion is lost. 86 billion, and this is a Japanese study, is lost due to gynae problems and menstrual problems. So there's a lot of money, a lot of productivity that is lost to the economy because of some of these issues. So we want prevention, to be honest. We want answers. We want data. We want more. We want to end the silence. Look, listen, menopause has been spoken about. I always say it. Menopause is now running down the road naked saying, hey, I'm free. But fibroids and other related issues like endometriosis, Yvonne mentioned adenomyosis, there's PCOS, there's a whole range of gynecological problems that women are experiencing. And a lot of the time, not getting the appointments when they want, having to wait, not thinking that there's something wrong with heavy bleeding, that thinking it's normal and the pain. We just need more. So in my opinion, bringing experts in, get the experts in, give access to women and those who support women, women's allies. It could be husbands, boyfriends, employers, researchers, anybody can come along. Yes, you may have a diagnosis. You may want to find out a bit more. You may not know what you may not know what you don't know.
Yes.
So you want to come along and find out. So what is all this about? So yeah, I've got a big stomach, and yes, so that's not normal. Or you've got someone else who you're trying to support, and you just want to make sure they get credible information, not someone's cousin's sister, brother, friend, whatever, told me this, but you want credible information from experts. On the Saturday 29th, that's what you get.
So hang on a minute. So this is the third year, am I right? This
is year 3. Yes, and we've gone from a half-a-day conference over the last 2 years to a full day. Attendees said, look, we need more. Yeah, we need more time. We want more information. We want to hear from the lovely surgeon and the lovely surgeons and the nutritionist, the hormonal specialist and the menopause person and the person who spoke about infertility. We just want more. We need more.
You don't get access to these people, B. You don't normally get access. So I'm presuming that they're speaking. By the way, I'm hosted, so I know all of this already, but I'm just saying. They're going to be speaking, but I mean, are we as attendees, as in the audience, are we going to be able to ask our questions?
Certainly. Obviously, time permitting, and as you know, sometimes people can go off on tangents. But yes, the perfect place to ask questions.
Wow,
the perfect place. If you want to ask your question anonymously, there's even a box that you can put your question into. And then that question can be asked. You don't even have to give your name. You don't have to speak. You can just come in, sit down, take notes, listen, absorb, be connected. Be connected. Don't be alone. Be connected. Yeah. Loneliness and just suffering on your own and just kind of battling on your own, or thinking that, I've got to keep quiet about this because no one talks about it. So, I mean, in the boardroom now, they sit around and they can talk about menopause. There's government guidance on it, right? So we need, come along, get your questions answered. You may have doubts about something. Maybe someone said you needed a hysterectomy, but do you really need it? Do you want to? It's not a clinical session. The conference is not a clinical session. It's really an information giving session, information sharing. We come together, we get information, we share information, we talk, we blend our voices, collective voices, because together then we can see what trajectory we need to be going in to improve or to generate data. Yeah, we've all heard, well, I shouldn't assume, but that there's a phrase that was going around maybe 3-4 years ago, 1 in 5 Black women were dying, having a baby.
Childbirth, yeah.
Right? And I think that's gone down to, is it 1 in 3 now? Is it 1 in 4? I don't know. But what I'm saying, if we don't talk and if we don't look out for each other, if we don't speak to the experts, if we don't blend our voices, if we don't compare. So what was your experience like when you went in to have your checkups and your investigations, your explorations? What do they tell you? I mean, Yvonne mentioned something when she was speaking earlier, that Black women are more likely to be recommended or directed down a hysterectomy pathway, right? So obviously, if we're talking to each other, that will come out.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're not going to wake up one morning and see this on GMTV News. So we need to talk. We need to have that dialogue. And I've seen that Hanifa's put something in the chat about the money. She's astounded that there's so much money lost. Yeah, in productivity to the economy. And that's just one study. And I think that study is about 3 years old.
Wow.
Okay. So, yeah, we need to talk. So that's what the conference is for. And togetherness. And we have fun as well. It's not all doom and gloom. We have fun as well. And we support each other, and some fantastic speakers. I don't even know where to begin.
At the beginning, just as we're kind of like thinking, tell us who's going to be there, V.
So we have the amazing Dr. Loretta Ogbora-Okor, who is a fantastic speaker and presenter, and so much more.
Next.
You'll hear. We have the lovely Yvonne John, who spoke earlier. She'll be sharing her infertility story and giving hope and support to attendees and giving information. Right. We have Haley Down, who is a nutritionist, hormonal nutritionist. She'll be talking about diet and periods. We have, who else we've got? We've got a specialist sickle cell nurse, Joyce Adu-Amankwa, who will be sharing and presenting around these issues and the implications of sickle cell. Yeah, being sick, having the condition of sickle cell disease. And just to be clear, sickle cell disease, there's also thalassemia, which is something that Mediterraneans, I believe, it's more prevalent in the Mediterranean population. But who else have we got? So we've got Yvonne, Joyce, Haley, Ruth Harrison Swift, who is a menopause specialist who goes into corporations and corporates to speak about, government guidelines and so on and so on. The government, the statutory guidance around menopause and support how employees have to support employees and so on. Have I missed anybody? And then obviously your good self to speak.
Brian?
Well, I think Ruth was bringing a surprise colleague with her to input. Right? So we'll see. She did say she's got something up her sleeve. So we'll see. We'll see on the day.
Ruth, sorry.
We'll see on the day.
Last week, I was stopped by a friend who I'd not seen for a while. They said, like, you've got an event coming up. And I'm like, I've got a few events. And she said, like, some fibroid, something like that. And I said, yes. She's only in her early 30s. And she's been off work for a while. And she said, oh my gosh, I was meant to see that advert. I said, why? And she said, long story, but she's been off work and it's all that kind of. And I said, it's such a shame for me that we hear these things later on in life. You need to know them earlier to know, actually, as Haley says, what is normal and what is not normal. Because you've had it all the time, you presume it's normal, but it's not normal. And because you've suffered for so long, it can impact on so many different things.
So many things.
This is somewhere where we can get that information. Yeah. My gosh.
Yeah.
Tickets must be like, what, 40, 50 quid?
No way. A quarter of that. Tickets are £10 plus Eventbrite. Tickets are £10. We want as many people.
What you've just told me is only £10.
Yes. Eventbrite add a little surcharge on top, don't they? But the tickets are £10.
Oh my! And how long is the conference again?
The conference is all day. So bring your packed lunch. We'll try and provide a very light lunch. There's not going to be anything. There's not going to be no gourmet lunch, no 3-course lunch or anything like that. There'll be a very light lunch.
Like
and I've just seen something in the chat where I'm like, I've just seen a little message in the chat. Dr. Eki Imovan, will be there.
No way.
Dr. Ruth has just confirmed it that Dr. Eki will be there. So
Nadine, you have to reach. Just saying, girlfriend. Just saying. If you want your stats, Nadine, to and this to take you to another stratosphere, if that's the right word. This is where you need to be at, girlfriend. Oh wow. Okay. Veronica Ebanks, hopefully I'll get time to bring you back on just to recap all of that.
Okay.
And hopefully Hanifa as well. That would be great. We're just getting Dr. Loretta on.
Okay. I'm not going to say what I just saw pop up on the screen about the
I saw it.
Yeah.
Okay,
but no more taboo. Take care.
No.
Do I stay or do I go?
Oh, wow.
No, please stay. I'm very happy for her to stay.
We're kicking her off.
Go
and
on,
bringing her back.
All right, that's fine.
Oh, Dr. Loretta.
Good evening.
Greetings. Thank you. Honestly, thank you so much for being so patient. I can't tell from the background because I did a video earlier on today, and I sort of like told everyone I was in Barbados and it's nice and sunny. And then I said, all right, I'm in Luton. And I've never had so many messages on a video before.
I only just finished work.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so I'm still in my work clothes and I've enjoyed listening to everyone else, like just unwinding and listening to everyone after
excellent
in theater.
Oh, wow. So for those people that are watching and think that I make things up on this show, this young lady is not sort of like, this isn't casualty. This isn't casualty and it's all make-believe. This is for real. Okay, this is for real. The reason this young lady, because if you'd have seen the video, you'd have laughed because I'm going like, there's so-and-so, there's Yvonne on there, there's blah blah, and then I said I've got Dr. Loretta, and I said like I've got 2.5 hours to remember her surname because I've got to get it right. Honestly, that's what I said on the video, and I said if I need help, I'm calling Shelley.
I'll say it myself now.
I know, and well, I've got a couple of weeks actually because I think last time when I hosted, I'm sure I got your surname right. So
yeah.
So please, it is important, so important that the masses that are out there know. Firstly, tell us your name rather than me try and get it wrong. Tell us your name. Tell us your title, your official job title, so that they know we ain't playing. So over to you.
Thank you very much, Auntie D in front of the camera and our sister Shelley behind the cameras, and to all the persons who've spoken before me today. You've all laid strong backgrounds for I think the discussion we are having now. You know, when I heard Hanifa and Diane saying we're keeping it real, I was like, yes, we are. Here I am. I've just come out of theater and I'm just logging. Wow. How real it be? You know, I mean, I woke up like this, no foundation, nothing. So this is my theater face. We're keeping it real. And of course, my empathies go out to Yvonne John on her loss. And I believe that just like her fiance affected his community in his lifetime, he's going to actually work with the host of heaven to affect everyone in heaven and on earth as well. I am unapologetically a strong woman of the Christian faith. So bear with me. And for Nadine, your documentary is so surreal. And when I heard you talk about the culture shock, I was, yeah, this is really, really true. But I think what strikes me about your documentary is the fact that I always say that our shared humanity is a true religion. And I think the documentary actually takes it down to the basics for humanity. Auntie V, as I always call her, Veronica Ebanks, well done for initiating the Fibroid Hysterectomy Conference. And I don't regret actually joining you in this boat. My name is still Loretta Oduware Ogbo Oko. I always jokingly say there's one of me on the planet. There's no two of that name anywhere. And some people will say doctor, yes. In clinical settings, they say Miss Soboro Oko because we call our surgeons Miss and Mr. But Loretta is just fine. My background is medicine and I specialize in obstetrics and gynecology. So that means I get to look after the pregnant and the non-pregnant women. And I say that my specialty is also the one specialty where we get to look after other members of the family. For instance, we look after the woman when she's pregnant, the baby in the womb, and sometimes in cases of infertility, we look after partners, we look after the woman, we look after the baby that is coming, and sometimes even the baby is at home already. So it's a specialty that has a huge dose of reproductive and sexual health, with sprinklings of any other specialty and any other facet of life you can think about. A little bit of pediatrics, internal medicine, pregnant women can sometimes break their bones. So you need to look at, you can have gynae patients that are going to come to you with problem with their eyes. So, I mean, we get to do a bit of everything. And I have been working in the NHS now coming on 20 years. I'm a consultant. So and apart from medicine, I do a whole lot of things. I'm a trained clinical educator with a master's in clinical education. So I do all this simulation training and training other people to handle emergencies using high fidelity mannequins and simulated environments. I'm a trained teacher. I'm currently completing a PhD in law and criminology, and I'm looking at trafficking and contemporary slavery.
Oh, wow.
I'm an author, and I am a politician. I'm an advocate for all things positive. So sometimes I wonder, what am I not? And I've just
you do it the other way, yeah.
I've just decided that the simple thing to say is that I'm just that change agent that is ready to agitate the polity for the betterment of mankind.
Wow. Wow, wowza. I love that. Absolutely love that. So I do believe, young lady, that this is your third round of the Fibroid Hysterectomy and Beyond conference. This is your third year, am I correct? You've been there from the beginning.
Yes. Oh, yes, you are very, very correct. It is the third year, and I think it's still the beginnings and the teaching phase.
Yep.
Vision we have for this, you inclusive, is that the time will come when we'll call forth things that are not like they are. And that simply means breaking down barriers, talking about those things people would usually not talk about, especially in certain socio-cultural milieu, especially in the Black and ethnic minority populations. Currently in the NHS, the Black health inequalities phenomenon is something we are beginning to take very seriously. And of course, the Labour government of the day is taking it very seriously as well. This March will be the second year where the conference on Black healthcare inequalities will be holding in London. And the Fibroid Hysterectomy Conference UK seem to have seen the future, because when we started this, we started because we wanted that safe space where women and men, a big shout out to all the men who are positive co-drivers in this struggle and in the change to constantly empower women, where they come together and just talk about things that ordinarily people find difficult to talk about, to make people realize that you are not alone. There are other people in the same boat, and to make people know that those things which we keep to ourselves can actually be better solved when we come together as a team. A problem shared, they say, is half solved. I mean, from real talk, Auntie Dee, you can tell that even though everybody you've interviewed over the years may be different, if you actually sit down and do a thematic analysis, as we say in research, you'll find out that there is a common thread that runs through all of these different people. And that is that all of them want to make a positive change in our world. It's the same thing, you know. So when people have illnesses and certain communities just don't talk about them, I think we fail to see that what unites us is actually the fact that anybody of any skin color, of any strata, can be sick at any time T. You know, illnesses are not the exclusive preserve of any one sect. Of course, there's evidence to show that certain things are more in certain persons or in certain social strata. But what I'm trying to say is that from kings to queens, from paupers to homeless, Christians to Muslims, Hindus to Zoroastrians, people do fall sick and unwell with different phenomena. So let us all come together and let us look at how we can begin to talk about these things, the social determinants of healthcare, the problems that we have in healthcare, especially from my side. I'm very biased about my women. So women's health, reproductive health, sexual health, but of course, we want to talk with our men as well. And we want to also talk about the things that affect our men, because when anything affects them, it affects us. But take care of women, you take care of the nation.
You're brilliant. No wonder you're a politician. That is definitely a political speech on behalf of the Dr. Loretta Party.
Well, you know, that's more brilliant. Shandu. That's a matter for another day.
Dr. Loretta, I'm not going to keep you because I don't want you to talk too much today. The reason you're on this show today is to throw the bait out to those people out there that are like, I don't know, should I bother going to this conference? I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. Why should they come? Why should they come?
I think devoting one day of one's life to acquiring knowledge that could change the lives of your brother, your sister, your friend, your wife, even, you know, your grandma or mother forever is important. It's not just about you. It may not be you. It may be gathering that information. Let me give you a practical example. I had a man call me up yesterday, and he said he was at one of my talks. And he remembered when I said that if anything at all, if you ever see blood after the periods have ceased for 1 year, in the very least, and running, you should go straight to your GP. And it could be a sign of endometrial cancer. Mind you, I didn't say it's endometrial. I say it could be a sign and symptom of endometrial cancer until proven otherwise. So he said his mom told him 2 months ago that she had blood from down below. And he was like, what, Mom? No. You have to go to the GP. She obeyed. He went with her. They went to the GP, put her on a 2-week wait, and then she got into the hospital. They did a biopsy, did the ultrasound scan, and to cut a long story short, found out that she has endometrial cancer. And now she's on the pathway to getting it treated because it hadn't spread yet. It was in its early stages. So he just sent me a message from the Blues to say, oh, thank you very much. You know, I don't know this man. He had to find my number from the people who organized that event. So what I'm saying is, why not invest your Saturday? Look at what this man has gained. He actually said we saved his mother's life. Myself and the entire team that organized that event. It's the same thing for this event on fibroid hysterectomy conference in the UK. There is so much to pick up. Are you an employer? Did you know that statistics has shown that in the US, $17 billion annually is lost from absenteeism, short-term disability, and symptomatic fibroid issues? Heavy periods, painful periods. Did you know that? And in the UK, this was in 2021, a paper by Jenny Rosenberg. And in 2024, leading on to 2025, it hasn't changed, because in October of 2024, the NHS and a charity called Create, as well as some consultants from the London School of Economics, brought out a paper where they told us that £11 billion is lost annually in the United Kingdom to a constellation of gynecological issues, symptoms and problems ranging from heavy periods, fibroids, ovarian cyst, endometriosis, you name it. So even employers are affected. Politicians and policymakers are affected, because this is our economy. So you find out that what we are going to discuss there on the 29th affects the family. If a woman is unwell in the family, I mean, many men can testify, they don't even know how to turn on the cooker or how to you know, I'm not trying to indulge them, but it's the practical reality. And employers are losing man hours. Our women we are losing quality of life, and our children will also suffer. The nations are suffering. So it's expedient. It's expedient, Auntie D, that we make out time for ourselves, to gather knowledge for ourselves, our community, for everybody to gather knowledge and put it to good use moving forward. It's not enough to gather knowledge and let it sit in your brain or sit on the shelf or sit in your phone. So I'm encouraging everybody out there, please share the flyers, share the promo materials, tell someone to tell someone on the 29th to come around in Milton Keynes, to come and see what's happening there at the First Space, Midsummer Boulevard. You know, invest wisely in yourself, invest your time.
Well, that was a, can't think of the word I wanted to use, on behalf of the Dr. Loretta Political Party. That was a broadcast. It was literally like that. And
you know, today you're prophesying, you're prophesying, because in the not too distant future, I'll be back here in political capacities, and we'll be talking to the Black and ethnic minority. We'll get there, because we need to change policies. We need to be at the table to shake the table. It's imperative.
Okay, stop 1 second. That's rewind. That's a rewind. Can you just say that again? We need to be
at the table to shake the tables. I wrote about
at the tables to shake the tables, guys.
Yes, because let me explain. We come sometimes and say, oh, as women, we need to have this in the workplace. We need, like menopause now. It's only taking center stage because we spoke out, because those of us in positions that can amplify the voices of others spoke out. And those are the people who affect policies. If you are not at the policy table, if you are not represented, nobody is going to come and say, look at the policy we saved for you. You need to be represented. And that's why programs like this that you do, you don't know how much you contribute to humanity, because policy makers are drawn from amongst us, and it is what is topmost on our mind's eye that we're going to bring to the table, or what affects us the most. So if in the first place, we are not represented. And when I say we, I mean vulnerable groups, I mean sects that are not, no one is listening to, marginalized people or communities. Do you know, even in the NHS, we have what you call the postcode syndrome, you know? So if these places and these peoples are not represented at these tables, then we are doing nothing. So that's why I keep saying we have to be at the tables to shake the tables. And this is in my book, My Father's Daughter, by the way, which is on Amazon. You know, and we all have to strive to be at the table, and we all have to help, give each other a helping hand, and stand on the shoulders of giants, like Google will say. Because look at it now, I'm standing on your shoulders, you know, and someone else can stand on ours to push the message and amplify the message. Like you were trying to get Nadine to actually listen in on what Auntie V was saying, because you understand this concept. You know, we need to lend a hand to each other, boys and girls, men and women, old and young, to actually achieve what it means to understand that our shared humanity is what's the true religion. We need to.
Amazing, amazing. This is what we call a taster, guys. You're thinking, wow. This is just a taster. So I don't know what you're doing, but whatever you're doing, I suggest you cancel it, and I suggest you book and get your ticket. £10 ticket plus the Eventbrite fee. Is that it for all of this plus so much more? So much more. I don't know, a full day, and oh my gosh, my mind's blown already. V said, I don't know, half day, full day. I said full day, full day.
Move will be there, another consultant gynecologist, and I'm planning to get another of my friends there, another gynecologist, because we need authentic information, not from social media. I mean, practically, I like to give examples. You know, I'm a teacher.
That's fine. Yes.
On social media right now, you hear people go, you need to tighten vaginas. And they are proffering all sorts of solutions and leaving the simplest and most effective solution, which is actually your pelvic floor exercising. So come to these events so that you understand the truth, the scientific truth, and why those things work, so you don't damage yourself. Because these days where you can order anything from the internet and you just start using them. No, you don't need to dry out the mucosa of your vagina with steams and harmful chemicals. No, you just need to do your pelvic floor exercises. So come on that day and come and hear those little tips that nobody is really going to tell you. And I mean, it's so little.
You don't want to know. Let me tell you something now, everybody. Those of you that are out there, don't come and ask me nothing. You don't ask me, what was it like? What? Don't ask me, because I ain't got nothing to say to you. Nothing to say to you.
Well, you are the chief host.
Nothing to say to them, because this is what they do. People like, oh, I'm busy. When are we going to invest in our health? It's no good when we're sick and then we try all these different things to try and get ourselves well. We're talking prevention, all this information. If you can prevent something, surely you'd want to, right?
If you don't invest in your health, one day your health will harvest you.
You're dropping it tonight, aren't you? If you want to hear more, guys, V, sorry, Shelley, can you come on? And if V's still there, I don't know. I don't know if there's anybody else still in the house or knocking around.
Hi, Shelley.
Hiya.
Auntie V, hello.
Hello, Dr. Loretta. Nice to see you. Lovely. Lovely.
Aging at all.
Absolutely.
I'm kind of, it's really strange, even though, and Shelley will know, I'm hosting and I'm kind of like, I've got, because I'm like just, as in the content of the show. Honestly, when you watch it back at some stage, please watch the show back. That's why, as you know, we're always telling people, and Shelley's always putting so much information. She does so much work. I give her that, and then she produces that. And if you think, I think you know that I'm not lying. She produces that.
We'll give her a round of
And
applause.
with all of that information, it's not just for, oh, doesn't it look pretty? It's for you to then share. It's for you then, the event, it's for you then to attend. Because every single day we're hearing something, someone, and some of the stuff, it's like, we kind of covered that. Or we've covered where you can go to get information, or whether there's an event where, or whatever it might be. And people just like more interested in maybe partying, maybe shopping. I haven't got money, I haven't got the money, but you've just gone and spent £50 on I thought nothing of it. But then when you say sort of like £10 on an event, it's like, I can't afford it.
There's so much to it, because you just need someone to share one little thing and it starts up that conversation. That it is that, like the whole thing, that's Hayley that turns around and says quite a lot on her social media posts and things. To be in pain, to be flooding, to be anything like that, that's not the norm. And for so long it was always, oh yeah, you just put up with it. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's what happens every month. And it's like, no, it cannot be that. It cannot be that at all. And going back to a bit like what Yvonne said earlier, to go through some things, and for you to, like for me, going through certain things with a gynecologist, and they'll say, because you haven't had children, and it's like, yeah, but I've done everything else apart from that. I know what's going on with my body. I know that something's wrong, and you need to understand that. And I had one doctor's appointment, because everything's all on the phone now, and I got myself so worked up because I was expecting to have an argument. I was expecting to having to put my point across, to fight for what I wanted, and I just blurted it all out. And she said, "Yes, fine, I get you." And I just burst into tears, because it was someone's actually acknowledging what I've said. Nothing might have come from that appointment itself, but I felt so much better because I was acknowledged, I was listened to, I was understood. And it doesn't help that you've got like a majority of gynaes are actually men as well, which they just don't get it. They don't get it. And I was, it was my husband that turned around and said, because I said, oh, I'm in a little bit of pain. My husband then was the one that then said, she has a high pain threshold. He's the one that could just tap his foot and he'd be screaming the place down because he's in pain. I could literally chop my leg off and I'd be like, yeah, that's smarted a bit. And because he then said, if she said that was painful, that's got to be really painful.
Yeah.
But yeah. And it's just in that room where you hear other people's perspectives, and it needs to be, even though you're saying about hysterectomies and going through the menopause and things, menopause is happening younger, different things are then happening. You need that whole mix of, I think some of the girls nowadays don't get into a position of mixing with different ages to actually then understand the wiseness of some women, because they've been there, gone through it, and you're learning from other women.
So is there an age on this, V? Is there an age sort of?
No, there isn't. There isn't an age restriction, but I prefer that we didn't have babies and young children there.
Oh, yeah.
I'd go as far as to say maybe no under 13s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah.
Yes, I agree. No under 13s. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes it's no holds barred, depending on the questions that's coming from the audience. And
Well,
Shelley,
I've been there, and
yeah.
boy, I'd say.
Listen, I was old enough.
It's a safe space. We don't record.
Exactly.
We don't record anything because we want people to be themselves. We want people to know that they are not alone, you know. And exactly. I mean, Shelley just talked on some.
She called the condoms.
and it's not like I want to hold brief for my kind, but there's something she just pointed out that sadly a lot of men are gynecologists and they really may not even understand the concept of their academic assumptions in real life. I want to even say it's not, yes, you're right, but it's not even just the men. I think when you are a doctor and you eventually become a patient, your perspective on patients and what they are completely changes. The same thing that even as a female gynecologist and obstetrician, when I experience some of the symptoms I've been taught and I've studied all my life, it's so surreal. It's so different. It just brings a whole new world, a new point of view.
Oh, V, you did say there's going to be humour. It's not all just all doom. There is going to be so much of that. Just thinking, hang on a minute. I thought I was at some conference, and 1 minute it's serious, and the next minute we all laugh, and the next minute we probably all cry. Yeah, the whole thing is going to take you on a roller coaster.
Yeah,
I'm just letting them know now. Just setting the foundation. Is it not for V?
It's true. Honestly, it's true. And there were some points when I sat there and I thought, am I old enough for this?
Exactly. I told you that's why I was doing this. Hot under the collar. Hot. That's Dr. Loretta for you. It's like
now.
Yeah, but it was good.
She also made a point. Shelley made a point. Like the menopause. I mean, women are going into menopause a tad earlier now for different reasons. Yeah. And I mean, I sat down one day and I wondered, oh, who's turned on the heater? What's happening? And I forgot about it. And then 2 weeks down the line, I'm like, surely there's a heater on somewhere. And people were looking at me like crazy. It took the 3rd time for me to realize, oh my God, the penny dropped. Is this it? Is this what my patients have been telling me? Is this what I'm like, I almost screamed like eureka. But it was so different. You know, my perception of hot flushes.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Yeah.
When I experience it myself.
Yeah.
You know? So I think this is what makes these spaces unique because a hospital consultation is only 5 minutes and people are very plastic. The doctor is plastic, the patient are plastic. I mean, in quotes, plastic in quotes, because, oh, hello, how are you? I'm fine. No, you're not fine. You've come there because there's a problem.
Oh, told you guys, it is real. This is real. So if you're thinking like this is just for the show, watch and see in person, you're going to be like, oh my gosh. You'll be saying to your friends, you should have come, you should have made it. Question for you, V. This is in Milton Keynes. This is the 3rd year from half a day. It's now full day. Yeah. I'm like, are you taking this sort of like around the UK anywhere else?
Do you know, I've been asked. I have been asked, and yes, at some point we will be on the move. We will be on the move. Hey, no,
we're followers. Where we going? Where we go? Yeah, definitely. It's something that I can. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Excellent. Excellent. Ladies, cannot thank you enough, because I know yourselves have got busy schedules. Dr. Loretta, I'm not assuming anything. Are you working tomorrow?
Oh, you see, that's a very perceptive, emotionally intelligent woman. No, I'm not. I've paid my dues till this evening, before this interview. I'm back at work on Thursday.
Excellent. Excellent. I'm so pleased to end your Tuesday on such a high, on being on the show.
Thank you so much. You know,
honestly.
I just want to really say thank you. Thank you for all you do with Shelley, Auntie V, as I fondly call you. Thank you very much for all you do for humanity. Because, I mean, people like me, sometimes I'm not there to start having all of the conversations because I'm held somewhere or some other strange part of the world. But you just go on and you all make these things happen. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
thank you for, just coming on board. Thank you for coming on board, because with trepidation, I contacted you at the very beginning because I wasn't quite sure, this first time I'm going to be speaking to a surgeon on the phone.
If you read my book, My Father's Daughter, I'll tell you, my dad trained me. He said, Loretta, you need to learn how to eat with paupers and dine with kings.
Thank you.
And you know what that means?
Love that.
That when that's summed up, the morale in that is that everybody is important. Everybody, we are all equal. I've never opened up a human being and seen pink blood or yellow blood or blue blood. We all have red blood. So the day you called me, you spoke to me, I was like, oh yes, that's it doesn't matter who is speaking, it was a great idea and we'll run with it.
Yeah. And we're still on it. We're still on it. And I'm just, gratitude is a must to everyone on this show tonight, everyone who's
I will say a big shout out to your husband.
Yeah,
okay.
Al.
And Al, yeah. And Rudy, who's been doing some of the lovely promotional materials.
Rudy was on last month's show.
Can't miss Rudy out.
All the other speakers.
All the other lovely speakers.
Harrison Swift, everybody.
Yeah, everyone. So come on. So those, if you're in listening distance tonight and you're watching, get your tickets before they all go, please. Would love to see you in Milton Keynes on the day. Take a Saturday out.
Forfeit that designer shoe and buy a train ticket and get a ticket and come and empower yourself, because it is only those who are alive in good quality of health that can wear high heels. Okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
You see that?
Yes.
I'm going to make sure. I don't know if Nadine is still watching, but I will certainly. I'm going to send her the YouTube for today's show. I would really love Nadine.
Look out for these.
Hopefully you're listening.
Look out for these. Oh, yeah. Okay, guys, look out for these. Yeah, it's a bit curly, I'm sorry. But look out for these, guys. Look.
It would be great if she could do some sort of write-up
and
with regards
the QR
to this.
code.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Great to meet Nadine in person, actually. She's
my gosh. Yeah, amazing.
She's
still young. Still young lady, just literally... Yeah, definitely. Let's work something out. So, ladies, for now, V and Dr. Loretta, thank you for being so patient. Thank you for coming on and sharing. V, thank you for entrusting me to facilitate. Every single time I come away with, oh my gosh, didn't know, and it's like, wow. So, yeah, I cannot wait a full day. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. So thank you, ladies. Shelley and I are going to round off, but we will catch you. If there's anything else, we still have the Tuesday show, V. Okay, so if any of the ladies, I'll throw it in the group. If any of the ladies are free on a Tuesday lunchtime, Simply Together show, Shelley and Cecile take care of that. They can come on and promote. It's nice to see different people, isn't it, on different shows. So if any of them could come on and do that, that'd be great.
All right.
That'll be fab. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
All right,
you.
ladies. Thank you.
Take care.
All
Thank
right,
you,
take care,
Vanessa.
Dr. Retta. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. I feel like I've been steamrolled. Literally, I don't know. How can it be 20 to 10?
Yeah. We haven't done
Tishi's
update. Do you want to have a bit of a breather and I'll read out. Wow, my head's gone. Right, so hello everyone. Since the last show, life has been good. My dad and I made some apple crumble a few weeks ago and it was yummy. I've been trying new exercises to keep my muscles loose with Sasha. That'll upset Rita. I've been watching lots of things on Netflix and YouTube. Yeah, there's quite a few things that we've been passing backwards and forwards, actually. I wrote a poem 2 weeks ago, and it's called My. And I've been catching up with a few friends. Last week, Thursday, I was supposed to see my nana, but I couldn't go because of the sickness bug I had. So I'm going this Thursday and so excited to see her and spend time together. I'm looking forward to our International Women's Day brunch on Sunday because it's always great when we get together and catch up. I have a question to ask. It's right, it's clean, don't panic. Does anyone know of any good respite places because they have closed down Jubilee Lodge, unfortunately, last year? So Jubilee Lodge was somewhere that she'd been going for
eternity.
So many years. And it is like a complete respite. It's like going to Butlins, to be quite honest. And it just suddenly, funding wasn't there, whatever, and it's closed. So for anyone out there that knows of any good respite places for holidays, please get in contact with us. So till the next time.
Sorry, you finish off.
Till the next time, people, stay blessed and keep following your dreams no matter what.
Fabulous. Thank you, Tishi. Obviously, we'll be catching up. Is there something that we can, with what she's asked, put out on our pages?
Yes, yeah.
Naturally, anything that comes back will be vetted and checked by the adjudicator, my sister. Trust me. Don't send any rubbish. But yeah, that would be fab, because somebody must know somebody must know somebody must know somebody.
Yeah,
that'd be fabulous.
I know it's they are very few and far between for like these respite centres, but
yeah,
there's got to be something. There's got to be something out there.
Definitely. If not, we'll have to make it happen. We'll have to make it happen. So,
road trip to Weymouth. Go on.
Who else is in Weymouth? Someone else is in Weymouth. Can't think what it is. Someone.
Someone.
Oh, I've got
like
so many road trips. This year, 1965. Let's be honest. 60 years ago, there's a few people within the Simply Deez posse that are going to be 60. And yeah, so if you think that, cool blimey, these lot are out everywhere. We sure are.
Oh.
They look like they're having a bloody good time. We sure are.
Yeah, I don't think my husband realises when it's the Nubian women's thingy on that 15th. It's St Patrick's Day parade, and I've already said that I was.
So I see you all day.
No, he's not going to see me all day. Just like he didn't see me all day last Sunday. Oh no, last Saturday. Sorry, yeah, because I was helping out in his event, but I then went to see a couple of the craft fair girls. So yes, I was out
Are you
most of the
listening
day.
to this, guys? Unbelievable. Don't know how she gets away with it. But you will see, sort of like as in Simply Deez, we've got our forthcoming event on Sunday. That's right, on Sunday, our International Women's Day intimate soiree taking place at the Luton Irish Forum. Currently sold out. If you're still interested, put your name on a waiting list. You never know. Yeah, you just never know. We won't be increasing the numbers. That is just purely if somebody was to drop out, we'd then sort of like thing with waiting lists. But yes, so we are doing preparations, as Shelley would say, in the background with regards to that. Rather excited. It's going to be an organic afternoon. So organic, don't even know what's going to happen because I'm not even sure who's attending. I know some of them. But it's beautiful that there's quite a few people don't know who they are.
Yes, friends of friends.
Don't know who they are. So that is going to be great. Looking forward to that. I think we have, I know, certainly shared, I believe, there's quite a few International Women's Day events throughout this week taking place in the mall, the Point, the Arndale Centre, I don't know, whatever they want to change it to. That place. There's different events going on there. So if you see things, do you know what? Before you pass and share a joke, how about passing on that information that might be something that somebody is like so grateful for that they can pop along to? Because those events, there isn't a charge for them; they're free. And if you can go along, it could be you're going to get information. It could be that you. Guess what? You just want to get out of the house, maybe for an hour. You might just want to go out and meet new people, whatever it might be. So please, please, please share. You will see over the past couple of months this year, you'll see us popping up at different events, either attending or volunteering, as we do. So we are out and about, and sometimes you think we're quiet. We may not be quiet as in our own things, but we are still out there supporting others. So do you know what? Some of that reciprocation, share something that we've posted out that Shelley's taken so much time to either put together or even, you know, if it's on our page, it takes nothing to share that out. For those of you that are still wondering, yes, I am in Barbados. As I'm sitting here, I keep getting on the Facebook. Do you know what? I haven't done a live for so long, but there's so many messages on there of, I don't even know. Somebody said like, Barbados, oh, have a good time. Cecile's made it abundantly clear I'm not to go back there without her.
She will have a breakdown if you was to go anywhere near a plane.
So I need to be careful. You know, don't tell Cecile too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so so we've got some busy times coming up. We really do. So as I said, we've got the event on Sunday. Next week, Shell, when you can, if you can share we've got the community Zoom.
Yes.
Next Thursday, which is going to be great. But actually, what did I see? Next Friday, need to find out some more information. There's I think it's an organisation called Soul Scene. I don't know if you've seen it, Shell. And they are going to be having bi-monthly, I believe, at the Hat Factory, like cinema screenings or as in black films and all this sort of stuff going on. They've got something booked for the 14th of March, scheduled in, and then the other ones are to be confirmed or whatever it is that they're going to be doing. There's going to be all sorts of activity type things going on as well. So that's the 14th of March, as well as our Zoom. No, the Zoom's Thursday. That is on the Friday, the 15th. How could you forget? I'm so glad we got our tickets. We got our tickets. Voices of Nubian Queens, back again by demand. Second one, I know it's going to be awesome. Diane and Hanifa hosting and have taken so much time in getting the incredible people that are going to be participating in that. So it's up to you. Snooze, you lose. Don't say we didn't warn you. Don't say we didn't warn you. And then, I'm sure there's other things going on in March, but we have, well, I've been asked again to facilitate the third Fibroids and Hysterectomy and Beyond Conference UK. It's going to be in Milton Keynes. The details have been going across the screen. All the information is out there. Tickets are 10. I don't know how she's made it so cheap. £10 plus the booking fee. So that's how much we're saying. What you're saying to me is you don't have £10 to invest in your health. Okay.
About what you're paying for lunch now, isn't it?
You ain't getting change out of that from a McDonald's, are you? Let's be fair. So the time you've had, or if you've gone Costa or whatever, and the time you've had your coffee and your whatever and that, you haven't got change from that. We're talking about your health. We say your health is your wealth. So today we've had on just a few of the speakers. We had Yvonne John. We've known Yvonne for so long at Michelle.
Yeah.
And seen that journey, absolutely incredible. And when you have the opportunity to get up close with these people, and just like me and you, and the fact that they're literally bearing their souls.
Yeah.
And Yvonne certainly does, and just the whole of, and I'm like, yeah. And being able to ask questions. There's nothing worse than you go somewhere and you can't, and you can't ask, or you've got your own something and you want to ask whatever it is. I know geez, I don't think you go anywhere and don't ask a question. But isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
Just the whole vibe of the whole, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Hayley that's, okay, she's classed as a nutritionalist. However, because of her own problems with her periods, that she looked into helping herself, and has actually then got the qualifications to help other people. So she gives a wealth of information just about periods themselves, let alone all the other nutritional side of things to it. And there was a lot of people that you would think, should you know about your periods more? But even then, like last time, they were like, oh, actually, oh, right, okay. I mean, going way back in my past life, I was helping out on a forum that's to do with fertility. And you would be so surprised that when we were helping out, and the first people that would end up on our site for their help with the fertility, it wasn't that they were actually infertile or had any problems. It was just because they didn't understand how their periods worked, what their cycle was, when you're actually going to fall pregnant, and how all of that kind of thing works. And as grown women, they didn't understand. They just understood, I suppose, in a way that your parents are then going, don't do this, don't do that, or it's then because you've learnt it at school. Oh yeah, like you don't fall pregnant if you do it standing up or something. You know, all those things that you used to hear. But then knowing that the way that your cycles are is the timing of when you actually fall pregnant. So many of them were there, learned that information over a couple of months and disappeared. They didn't need an infertility forum. They just needed fertility information. And if you don't know how your periods work, how your cycles work, or even how to talk about them properly, sometimes.
I think very much we were given information at school, and based on that, that's our life that we've. Who are you asking that questions to? Who are you talking to about? Who are you? You're not. And then things just happen along the way, and then we're kind of like, right, I've got a problem. And then you may have a problem, but don't even know you've got a problem because you don't know any different to even challenge or even ask that. So what we're saying is this event information. And as V said, I think, was it 13 and up? So when you're thinking, I don't know, I won't bring my daughter, or I won't bring me, or whatever the case might be, bring them. You can't be, once you're 13 and above, you can't be too young to know that information. The information that they taught you at school, apart from that, that's it. We don't know. We don't know. So can't talk about it enough. Because we can't. So excited. So much going on in March, isn't there?
I did put a post up, just going back about the event. I did put a post up about parking, because I know people got caught out last time. Don't park in the red bays. The red lined bays are the premium parking spaces. You will be charged extra. So go just round the corner from where the event is. See the purple ones or the blue bays. The blue bays are the long, like an all-day parking. The purple ones are the cheaper parking. It works out roughly about the same for how long our event is. But yeah, look out for those bays
all day.
a little bit further. Yeah.
Fabulous. And
I mean,
I think
we've got Mother's Day coming up as well. So our friend Kerry has got her Mother's Day. I did repost it back out on our page.
What day is that? Is that the 29th as well? No, the 29th. So first, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Is it 30th? What day is it? I don't know. Come on, you guys, if you're watching, what day is it? Kerry, what day is your event?
It's the 29th. It's the Saturday. Yeah, it's the Saturday.
It is the same.
Yeah.
It is the same day. And I think it's a case of, is it like afternoon tea, and there's a photography session also as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's optional. So lots going on. Let's get Kerry, if we can, Shell. Let's get her on, if she's available, on the Simply Together show.
Yeah.
That would be good to get her on there. So,
yeah. No, I was just saying, it's just like sharing that out.
And if you watch our shows and if you watch a thing, it's like, don't they share a lot? We do, don't we? Don't they talk a lot about other people? Don't we? It's not just things we do, it's things that others, and that's what Simply Deez is about. And all we're asking is for you to just pass that on. My gosh, pass that on. I think we have a bigger impact than we actually know, Shell. I think we're just doing what we do. We're just doing what we do. And then you kind of hear down the line or something like that, and it's like, oh, that. And it's like, oh. Love it. I am so proud that the time, according to my phone, if it's correct, says 21:58. Did you do pancakes today then, love?
Hubby didn't get pancakes. I had some at lunchtime though. Oh, I'm such a good wife, and that stuff I've come out with tonight.
So bearing in mind, guys, this isn't scripted. You could tell now. When Shelley's screen goes off, just you know why. I take it hubby's in the vicinity because she went, I thought, what's she doing that for? So she had pancakes. didn't cook any, but she had some, and so he didn't get none. So it's all about me, me, me. I know we say self-care, but that's absolutely ridiculous. Looking forward to seeing Rita James on Sunday. Looking forward to seeing all of those that have purchased tickets. Look out for emails. We'll be sending some joining instructions in the next couple of days. Yeah, buzzing, proper buzzing. What else have we got to tell them, Michelle? Anything more? Anything more?
Nope, I think that's it.
So look at that. I think we've done well. We've done good. We've done real good. So if you are out there and you are watching and you're like, it was all right, then pass it to somebody else who might think it was all right, or they might think it was shite, but give them the opportunity to make their own choice of what they think. But yeah, please share, please subscribe. Shelley's gone to all the trouble of look at all that information. How you can get us on Facebook, on Instagram. I do believe we're on Tickety Talk.
Tickety Talk, there's a couple of bits on there, yeah.
But there's all of that. Subscribe to our YouTube. I had a meeting today, and I was like writing down a few things yesterday. I was going like, oh my gosh, and we did this. I'm like, and we did. Oh, like, Jesus Christ, we've done bloody loads. Absolutely loads. Yeah. So if we do not see you this Sunday at our intimate soiree, don't worry, because if you snooze, you'll lose. We will see you at the Voices of Nubian Soul.
Yep.
The following week. And guess what? If you're real good, we will see you on Saturday, the 29th of March. 29th of March. Obviously, in the meantime, any questions, anything that you may have missed, just contact us and we will either connect you if it's one of our guests, or we will endeavour to help as best we can. So for now, from my good self, Dee Bailey, over and out from Barbados. And from...
Keep thinking it. Keep thinking it.
Isn't it? Manifestation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And from Shell. Miss Pancake. So you will see Shelley the St. Patrick's Day parade, which is on the 15th also as well.
Yeah,
that's going to be a busy day. I'll be there, Kip. But
St. Patrick's Day has got the parade out on the outside and some stuff in St. George's Square. They've also got some bits actually in
the mall.
The mall, the Arndale Centre, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I think I'm going to be with Rita, and I think we're actually inside the mall helping doing the kids' crafts.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm doing. But you never know.
You never know. So for now, thank you to all our incredible guests today. To who do we have? Hanifa and Diane, to Yvonne, to V, Dr. Loretta, to Nadine, and can't do it without Shelley Titmus in control on the mic. But yeah, watch this space because things are downloading. Shelley and Cecile, watch out.
No, I hate it when she says that.
Okay, guys, see you all real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.